Welcome, artists, to the third part of our portraits unit. Today we are going to draw lips. The first step you need to take in your lip drawing assignment is in your sketchbook. You're going to divide your page up into 6 blocks. Now, if you have an 8.5 by 11 sketchbook, the measurements that you would take are 4 1/4, which is right here on your ruler. And then you do the same on the bottom. You just make a little mark, and then you connect those two lines very carefully. And then your vertical marks are 3 5/8, which is right here. It's right past the halfway mark. And then 7 1/4, which is right there. You do the same thing, make a little mark on this side and this side, and then you carefully connect your lines, and you will have 6 equal boxes. Now, if you have a 9 by 12 sketchbook, that's actually pretty easy. It would be 4 1/2 this way would be your marks, and then you would actually divide it 4 8. So that's actually a little bit easier if you have a 9 by 12 sketchbook. So you're just going to have to measure and see how big your sketchbook is. So you've got your 6 equal parts. You have got your first step is to use this document, which is attached to your assignment, and you're going to draw these first 2 steps in the first 2 boxes. You're going to complete the second step in the first 2 boxes. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here with my camera so you can see what I'm doing. And so what I like about this method of drawing lips is that it's very simple. The structure makes it simple, and the structure is also really flexible. So using most of your box, I want you to draw these pretty big. You're going to make across a horizontal line and then a short vertical line in the center. And you want to get as close to the center as you can. You can use your pencil and your fingers to measure and see. That did pretty good there. And then what you do is remember that the bottom lip is almost always bigger than the top lip. Now, this is not always true. It depends on the person's lips. You will find people that have a bigger top lip than bottom. You'll find people that their lips are the same. So what we're going to do is draw a little curved line at the bottom of this line. And then a little bit under this, you're going to draw a kind of like a curved V. It's a gentle V-ish U shape. Okay, that's your first step. Pretty simple. The second step is to go in and then start giving some definition to the center of your lips, which this shape right here changes, but a good general rule is you make another curved line in the center, and then it goes out and kind of curves down and then a little bit back up. Okay? Do the same thing on this side. And this line right here you can make fairly dark because it's in shadow, so it's a nice nice line there, you can see. Now the top line is just a slight curve that meets the edges. Now you'll see this again, people's lips are shaped really different. Some people, this top line is going to go down and be like that. Some people's going to be really narrow. It just varies. You can mess around with that on these structures if you want to see some variations. Now the bottom lip is going to come and kind of slowly, gently like pinch on the edges there. It gets real thin, but then it widens out quickly. So there's one. Okay? Pretty simple, right? And then I can go back if I want. You don't have to on these first 2, but I just want you to see that you've got a nice beginning structure to a set of realistic lips. So there you go. Pretty simple. I'm going to speed up the second one to show you guys the second one that I want you to do. All right, now you've got two realistic sets of lip structures. These are not finished by any means, but they help with the structure. And you can see how I changed up my second one a little bit, but I still used the basic guidelines of creating that horizontal and short vertical line, and then the V in the top and the curve in the bottom, and then I built it out from there. So for your third set of lips, you're going to walk through all 6 steps of this diagram and do realistic shading on your set of lips. So that's number 3. So I'm going to do this. I'll speed up the camera. Okay guys, you can see I've made my structure, and now I'm going in and giving myself some guidelines for my shading, and I'm just starting out lightly. You can see in the image to the left that it becomes much darker by the 6th step, but it's always a good idea to start out light and then just build up from there. And so basically that's what you'll see me do through the whole rest of this portion of the video. As I'm doing these lips, I'm just slowly building up the values layer by layer. And one of the things I'm going to keep encouraging you guys to do is not be afraid of those dark values. Even for me, I struggle with getting it dark enough in the dark places. So don't be afraid to do that. Don't go overboard, but most of you don't have a problem going overboard. You have a problem getting it dark enough. So enjoy the process and watch the rest of this portion, and then we'll talk some more about next steps. Okay guys, so that's my first set of complete lips. It's not absolutely perfect. My values probably aren't quite as dark as what they are in here in the picture. So I gotta work on something I gotta work on as an artist, not being afraid of those dark values. I tell you guys that often, to not be afraid of them. So you watched as I drew. There was lots of times I just kept going back and building on those layers, and I'm still working on that. So make sure that as you do yours, you're comparing your values to what you see on the screen. Not just what you think you see, but what you actually see as you look at them. So there's my first 3 sets. 2 with the first 2 steps of your tutorial, and then a third one that goes through all 6 steps, gets a little bit of the shading around the outside, and then you're ready to move on to your last 3. What you're going to do for your last 3 is you're going to use this document that has the 6 different sets of the Guardian's lips on there, and you're going to pick 3 of them, and you're going to draw 3 fully realized sets of lips. So this is going to take some time. It's challenging, but a worthwhile endeavor. So again, I'm going to speed up the camera. I'm going to do mine. You're going to see how I use the structure to create the lips as I go, but that there's variations as well. So All right, guys, so that is 2 sets of my Guardian's lips. And I think, I think I'm going to change it up. I think I'm going to say just 2 of the sets of Guardian's lips, 1 fully shaded, and then your 2 structures, because this has taken me over an hour, and I'm very versed in doing this. I've done lots of sets of lips in my life, and it's still taken me a whole hour just to do what I've shown you. So I'm going to cut it back. I'm going to say you have to have 5 total. I'll change it in the assignment, but just disregard at the beginning of the video when I say 6. We're going to make it 5 total. Okay, so this one we'll call a freebie. How about that? So if you don't pay attention, you're going to end up doing 6, and I won't feel bad. So I hope you enjoy this assignment. It's very challenging. You can see just from these 3 sets of lips here how different lips are. It's very, very, very important that you look when you're drawing a portrait. And some of you guys' portraits that you did were excellent. I could tell you were looking. And some of you were just drawing what you thought you saw and not what you actually saw. So this is an opportunity to work on lots and lots of looking. You should be looking as much as you're drawing, if not more. That's what I do. I will never stop doing that as an artist. So use your eyes, draw what they see. Enjoy, guys.